Hi Gemini, this is Mimi with Divination by Mimi. Welcome to your August 2017 Tarot and Oracle with a little bit of astrology reading. The month of August is full of a lot of astrological events. So we'll start with your ruling planet. Your ruling planet is Mercury, and Mercury is in the sign of Virgo this month, but it will be going retrograde. So Mercury goes retrograde on August the 12th and will remain in a retrograde status till the 5th of September. And of course, you know very likely the usual things to consider. Mercury being the messenger of the gods, Mercury is all about communication. So when Mercury is retrograde, we're looking at mishaps with communication and not all information being communicated clearly. It's like there's cloud cover or hidden information. Not because anyone has any nefarious things up their sleeve, it's more like that's just the energy. So things are miscommunicated. That's why it's not a bad idea to consider holding off on any contractual obligations from the 12th of August to the 5th of September, particularly people like yourself and Virgo, both ruled by Mercury. Another thing to consider in that time frame is mechanical breakdowns, things like that, and just be careful. What you say might not be perceived as you intended, and the other way around. So be sure about what you say. Be cut some slack to people that are communicating to you, because things that they might express to you might come across as being other than what they intended. Okay. And of course, there's the mechanical breakdown possibilities. So just be thinking of all of that. Other activities occurring are two lunations of importance. The full moon on the 7th of August has a partial lunar eclipse. This happens at 15 degrees of Aquarius. And there's also a very nice aspect with the moon and Jupiter. So there's a trine between the moon being about emotions, intuition, feelings, compassion, subconscious. There's a nice harmonious aspect called a trine occurring with Jupiter. Jupiter is an expansive positive energy, and its placement is in Libra at the moment, which is about relationships. And Jupiter, I believe, is direct at the moment. So this can make for very harmonious interactions with your interpersonal relationships. That would be the 7th of August, and I believe that trine occurs in the evening. So maybe make plans to go out. That is a Monday, but make plans to get together with friends, an early dinner, something like that. The next lunation of import is the new moon eclipse. So there's a new moon on the 21st of August. The new moon will be at 28 degrees 53 seconds of Leo, and there will be a full solar eclipse about 5 minutes prior to that moon going new. So the moon goes new at 2:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The eclipse occurs at 2:25 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, so 5 minutes prior is when the eclipse starts. And agree that, again, that's 28 degrees Leo. Now, the reason that this is important, number one, eclipses are events that create a big impact, okay? So for whatever aspects are occurring naturally on that particular day for a natal chart, the eclipse basically supersizes it. It impacts it greatly. It blows it up, okay? So there are some wonderful aspects occurring at that time, and it has a lot to do with us collectively, humanity. I'll explain. Every natal chart, including our collective soul, our humanity's soul, or not even just humanity, sentient life has a soul. And our natal chart has 2 lunar nodes. Those nodes are indicative of what we've learned, in other words, what we've mastered and what we know coming into this incarnation, and what we are here to learn for our soul's evolution. We collectively have our north node right now in the sign of Leo, which means it is in our best interest to take on the higher octave attributes of Leo. Those include joy, pure love, the idea of being a divine child, the remembrance of who and what you really are, autonomy, confidence, not arrogance, confidence, creativity, and self-expression. The sun, basically. those are the things that I believe, particularly autonomy. A healthy autonomy is something that we're being asked, or we need to attain for our soul's evolution at this point in time and space. Other aspects that are going to make this impactful, this jump that we're about to take, okay, are two aspects. They're harmonious, they're trines, they're harmonious aspects, but they're big shakeups. Again, they are unexpected changes and can feel jarring and therefore can feel uncomfortable at first. But remember, this is all for our best good, okay? So the first harmonious aspect that's occurring is a trine with the moon, which we know is about emotions, intuition, compassion, empathy, things to do that are with feeling, things that are felt, things that have to do with the unconscious. The trine that it's making is with Saturn. Saturn, if you were to equate it with a concept, it would be the law. It would be establishment, so the IRS, the government, law enforcement, things like that. With the moon making this trine, it's almost like it's softening Saturn up. Saturn is already in a retrograde status, so it's already revisiting how things have been done to create the status quo and confirming whether or not those things are still rational. You know, those are still rational options now. Okay, so they're already looking at what we have done as tried and true to see if it really is true. So with this aspect, it's kind of like if you were to give it characters, it would be like Saturn's the crotchety old guy that lives on the corner that says, "Okay, you kids get off my lawn." And the moon making this trine is kind of like the friendly neighbor who goes over and says, "But look, the kids are having fun. Remember when you were a kid? Blah, blah, blah." So that kind of comforting, hand-holding, hugging, buttering up that the moon does to Saturn will help these changes that help our soul's evolution happen much easier, okay? Also, and this is the big one, this is the one that's going to impact change. Leo has the North Node in it, right? Leo's ruled by the Sun, so the Sun is also in Leo at this time. It's Leo's birthday. Mars is there. And right now there is an aspect being created, another harmonious trine between the Sun, ruler of Leo, where our North Node is, and Uranus. Uranus is in the sign of Aries, an active fire energy. And I mentioned Mars, Aries ruler, is in Leo, an active fiery energy. So all of this has to do with fiery, active, energetic movement. So things are a-changing, okay? So with this aspect, we are talking about the Sun, which is a positive, expressive, energetic, change maker, life creator, expander, making a harmonious aspect with Uranus. Uranus is an unpredictable, unexpected changes kind of an energy. So think of Loki or any other deity of chaos. You know, like, hey, let's see what happens when we set this on fire. And I'm not saying it's going to be bad, but it is unpredictable, unexpected changes with a nice combination with the Sun, right? So this is definitely conducive for positive change. And it's definitely the time for that to happen, considering the North Node, again, our destiny, our soul's destiny, is in the very constellation and all this activity is occurring. So it's very impactful. So watch the news, watch the world stage on the 21st. It should be interesting to see how things are going to play out, particularly here in the West, particularly in the UK and the United States. So it should be interesting. All right, so enough about me talking about astrology. Yeah, I think that covers it. So I'm going to get into your reading now. I am just using the Night Sun Tarot, which is a Thoth-based tarot. And I'm going to do a 3-card pull based upon the supernal triangle, or the top 3 placements or Sephiroth of the Tree of Life. So if you follow the Kabbalistic Tree of Life, this will be Keter, Hokmah, and Binah. If you follow the Kemetic Tree of Life, this will be Amenasur, Tehuti, or Sekert. And then from a psychological perspective, or a Jungian perspective, this will be the superconscious, the conscious, and the subconscious. So we're trying to find out what Gemini, ruled by Mercury, going into retrograde, needs to know with all of these aspects occurring, including the retrograde, the 2 lunations, and the partial and full eclipses occurring during those lunations. For the month of August 2017. One more. What does Gemini need to know for the month of August 2017? Superconscious, God source, God mind, high mind. What does Gemini need to know? Apparently a lot. Or I'm clumsy. Not sure which. So you got the Two of Cups in the upright position. That's from God's source, the super consciousness coming through, high mind talking to you. Now we're looking for the conscious mind. What is on Gemini's mind? Gemini's a Mercury ruled, so Gemini's thinking all the time, constantly thinking. What's on the mind? Possibly delayed or missed opportunities that have to do with creativity. You received the Ace of Wands. Wands is a fiery creative energy, sometimes sexual, but usually a fiery creative energy. You got it in reverse, so there's either a delay or something you're missing to make the beginning happen here. It's the very essence, the very root of that energy, and it's reversed. So even at the very beginning stages of whatever creative concept or thought or goal you might have, you're kind of running into a stumbling block here. What is, well, there we go. No, that's too many. What does subconscious want Gemini to know for August 2007? There we go. 10 of Cups. That's lovely. Okay, so for high mind, superconscious, you received the Two of Cups. That's a female and a male, each holding a cup, and usually it's, you know, the cups being the receptacle of the soul, and it's pretty obvious here that's holding the heart, soul, that kind of thing. The big key, I think, and takeaway here is, particularly with the Gemini, as we're talking about, it could be a love or a coupling card, but I believe it has to do with you assimilating both sides of yourself, the feminine and the masculine. This is very relevant with Mercury, especially Mercury making the changes and Mercury being your ruling planet. It's an androgyne. It has a very good balance of both masculine and feminine energies. And super consciousness is saying that that's the key to make this happen, to turn around this, to make this happen. This is the 10 of Cups, which is basically, if you look at it, it is the tree of life. You can see the 3 sets of triangles and then the pendant that is Malkud, or Geb in the case of the chematic tree of life. And this basically is a, what would you call it, a culmination or a graduation or a, culmination, I believe, of things having to do with emotions and relationships. So this is very likely, this is Mars in Pisces. So obviously a fire energy with a water or ether energy isn't a good match elementally, but Mars's energy does feed the spiritual side of Pisces. Pisces is very spiritual. And this is basically saying that you're finding success and victory as it relates to emotions, spirituality, intercommunication, interrelations. So subconscious is telling you that you have this. This is here waiting for you. And a lot of it has to do with the fact that it is your goal at this point in time and space to embrace both sides of yourself. Not even just the masculine and feminine, but the polarity of you, the good and the bad. So you might be needing to be called on here to work on assimilating the shadow side of yourself. Are you being kind about the things you don't like about yourself? We don't like them, I understand that, but are you assimilating them? Because you can't avoid them. So are you finding a way to live with them harmoniously, with those parts of yourself that you don't care for? And then, of course, the gender aspect. Make sure that you're balancing the feminine, the masculine. That's the key. So let's get some clarity here on what this delayed or blocked energy for new goals are. I'm going to use the runes. These are the Norse runes. What does Gemini Can you explain, please? Can I get clarification, please, on this Ace of Wands, this root of fiery, creative, passionate energy, either in a delayed status or a blocked status? Okay. I never remember what that one is. Bear with me. AWAS. Protection. A goal is in sight with a slight obstacle. So here's your obstacle. Forethought, perseverance, right action, and all obstacles can be overcome, and therefore all goals can be achieved. So I'm not sure exactly what this goal is here. I would think it's something creative, something that you're quite passionate about, but it's at the very root stages, or it feels like it's at the very beginning. It almost feels like you feel like you haven't made up any ground, but your goal's in sight according to this. If you continue to focus and persevere in whatever goal this is, the blockage will be removed. It's just a slight obstacle at the moment. So what I would encourage you to do is be grateful for what subconscious is explaining that you have. Continue to find that balance in your life. Okay, you're doing it, obviously, otherwise the warning would be stronger. But Spirit is sort of telling you this is very important. And while you're doing this, keep your eyes open, all of your senses open, watch your dream, consider your dreams, look for symbols and look for clues. We get them all the time from the unconscious as to what the blockage could be. Because I'm guessing you already know what I'm talking about here, because again, this would be a creative endeavor of some kind. So just watch for whatever clues as to what is causing the blockage, how to remove the blockage so that you can carry on and find the goal, because it's within your grasp. With forethought, with planning, right? Keeping an open eye, watch for the signs, and continuing to persevere with whatever the goal is, continue to work toward it, you will find you do achieve that goal. Yeah. Okay, I hope this helped some Geminis out there. If you have any questions about the reading, feel free to comment or put questions in the comment section below. If you would like a personal reading, please email me at mimimemes@hotmail.com. You can find the email address in the description box below the video. Good luck with the retrograde. Again, you'll be impacted quite a bit because it is your ruling planet. And make sure, let me just revisit that. Because Mercury is retrograde, that could be the blockage that's slowing this down. Okay? So when it's talking about the blockage here, this may be referring to the Mercury retrograde that's coming up. So consider that as well. Look at everything. Look for any kind of clues that are coming your way as to what the blockage is. But heed them, whatever they are, and consider the retrograde when you're heeding everything. Okay, take care. I will see you again at the lunations. Elsewise, I will see you next month for the next Gemini zodiacal read. And you have a really good August. Take care.